have been waiting to do this interview for a couple of months. We had a little kink in our plans because of this crazy thing that's going on out there in the world, but I am so happy to be here with Grandmabobbe and her son, Matt, or her grandson, Matt. I met these two on TikTok. This is the beauty of social media, is that you actually connect with people all over the world. And so often we hear people think social media is taking away from our human connection, but I actually believe that it can enhance our human connection and allow us to connect with way more people all over the world. So GB, you have 1.2 million followers on TikTok.
That's unreal.
Well, you're amazing. And you also have almost 10 million likes. So have you ever used social media before?
No.
Dear heart, I don't know anything about this newfangled stuff. I'm just learning about internet and all that.
And you're an internet sensation without knowing anything about it. How cool is that?
Oh yeah, crazy.
So, you know, I wanted to have you guys on today because there was a couple of things that really touched my heart. Matt, you've been such a great grandson to your grandmother, and you know, I always see you taking her on hair appointments and taking her to do errands, and those are the things that we do for the people that we love. But to see the interactions that you guys have, the authenticity, how great you guys are together, and like, can we talk a little bit about like what your life was like? I'd love to hear a little bit about you, Bobbe, and how you grew up. You just told me right now that you were born in 1933.
Yep, in Georgetown, Kentucky.
And
my daddy was with the CBA when we moved to Tennessee, and I spent most of my years in Winchester, Tennessee, which is the county seat of Franklin County. And I went to high school. Well, I went to elementary school, and then I went to private school, and then I went to high school. And I graduated one of the top 3 in my class.
I am not surprised. I'm not surprised.
And I was in the Beta Club. And that's where I had my first love. Well, anyway.
I love that you have that memory, though. I love that. And so was that the person that you married?
No. He was my first boyfriend and all. And I think Winchester is at the foot of the mountain from Suwanee, Tennessee, where there's a college, the University of the South at Suwanee. And we used to go up the mountain, and there's a big cross up there, and we would park. And back then, parking was when you go and smooch, you know.
I might have done that once or twice in my life too.
And then when we got old enough, that's when we go and drink beer. Well, wait a minute, we grew up in a dry county. And we had a bootlegger named Bobbe Metal, and he would get beer for us. Oh, I'm telling you. Well, anyway, that's where I met my first husband at a sub-deb club dance. And oh, I look gorgeous, I tell you. I had a beautiful strapless evening gown with a hoop skirt. Well, it wasn't the Civil War sky, but it was a big skirt. And it was black, it had a red top, and it had black things coming down. Oh, boy, I look good. Oh, I look gorgeous.
I'm pretty sure you could have had any man in that place.
Huh?
I'm pretty sure you could have had any man in that place.
I didn't want any. I want the one I was dancing with. Oh, and that was ended up being my first husband. Yes, he was a Navy veteran, and his name was Paul Turner Stewart. And he was the son of a United States Senator. Big old redheaded flicker face rascal. Oof.
He's gracious. I'm not good.
Is that how you got Matt?
No.
No, next one.
Well, I see we married, we went to the preacher's house to get married. my dad had to sign for me to marry. Back then, you couldn't, you had to be, I think you had to be in the 20s. But anyway, my daddy signed for me to get married. And we went to the preacher's house. And after we married, his grandmother, who was in her 90s, was in the hospital, and we had to stop and see Nanny before we took off to Chattanooga for a honeymoon.
I love it.
Yeah, and then from then, okay, I was working for C. Tittle Chevrolet Company, keeping books. And then I went to work in Tullahoma. I don't remember just when it was. I worked for Consolidated Western Steel. Oh dear, I was, well, then I started having children. My first child was a daughter. Her name was Judith Paulette. My second child was Arthur Thomas Stewart II. My third child was Robert Andrew. And then my last child was Louis Shane, Shayne, you know, because my mother came up with that. I love the name. Stewart, Louis was after the man I used to work for, and the Shane was after the old movie. I know you all don't remember that, but it was a movie named Shane. And my mother said, well, let's stick a Y in there and make a difference. So that became Louis Shane Stewart.
Wow, quite a trend creator she was.
Oh, yes. And I think my mother took care of my kids. And I worked. I worked all my life.
Wow. And so you worked until you were 65? You worked until you retired?
I don't know if I can't remember when I retired.
It's not really important.
When I broke my hip, it just wiped out so much of my memory. But I worked for an insurance company, Consolidated Western Steel. I also worked in the AEDC, which is the Arnold Engineering Development Center.
You've done a lot.
I worked a lot.
You have. You're a hardworking woman, and I really appreciate that. I'm also one of those people, and I really appreciate it when I find it in another human. So that's pretty.
I love working. I mean, I'm not a homemaker. I didn't like to cook. No.
My husband does all that.
I don't mind washing and ironing. I don't mind that at all, but I don't like to cook.
I don't blame you. You know what? Okay, I got to tell you a story. So my daughter is 4, and you know how when they're 4, they kind of say anything. They don't have a filter, kind of like you, actually. And so I went to pick her up at daycare one day, and her daycare lady said, "Oh, Izzy told me what happens when she comes home from daycare." And I said, "Oh, well, what did she tell you?" And she says that she comes home and she makes dinner with Daddy. And I said, "That's right. They cook together. It's really cute. He hands her the stuff. They mix everything in the bowl together. She adds turmeric and paprika, and like, it's so adorable." And then her daycare lady said, "And you know what she says you do?" And I'm like, "Oh God, what does she say I do?" She said, "Yeah, Mommy just waits for it to be ready." She's not wrong.
Right?
Just like, oh my God. At least she didn't tell you that I was drinking wine. Well, I was waiting for it to be ready, but it could have been worse, right? So it was so.
It's a lot worse, but no. I know, but I like to wait for it to be ready. I did not like to cook.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was in the high school, I mean, we had sewing and cooking and all this. And I'm not the homemaker type person at all.
You know what, GB, we can't be good at everything.
No.
So, okay, so you had your
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I am. I'm trying to be.
You're doing great. So you had your first 4 kids with your first husband, and then something happened.
I had 2 stepchildren.
Okay. So you've got quite a big family.
Yeah, one of them, we didn't get along. And so, and then my Jeff was, well, I still see Jeff's widow and one of his children. So, but of course, I'm sitting right next to the love of my life. You know that.
Of course. Of course. He is such a sweetheart. And you know what? Like America, I'm Canadian and I'm falling in love with you guys together. Like you guys are so wonderful and you are everything that a grandmother and grandson should be, you know, like so wholesome, so sweet. I know that there's multiple times that I've tried to take my grandmother and do something and she's tried to give me money and I say no. And we have the same argument, you know?
Right.
I know. Really, and I tried to give him gas money, and he said, "I don't want your money." I mean, I'm just trying to share, you know. Well, to me, well, not that I have that much, but I do want to share, and well,
You want to show him that you appreciate him.
I appreciate it, and I love him, and what's mine is his. Let me put it that way.
Well, it's very apparent in your videos how much you guys love each other and how much fun you have. I would come hang out with you any day. Now, you guys have been on a few TV shows. I think I've seen you on Fox and Friends and on Access Daily.
Yes.
You guys are like making it big. There's lots of people that would kill to be on TV and you guys are just having fun.
Right. Hey, that's all it's all about.
I don't, and I don't know anything about it. I mean, I'm old school, honey.
I just like to surprise her with it.
Yeah, yes. I mean, you know.
I love that. I love that.
It's been a wild
Now
ride.
tell me a little bit about what you're wearing right now. Like I want to ask you a couple of things, but I want to know what you're wearing right now.
I'm wearing my grandma shirt.
You got some swag going on.
Yeah. So I decided a lot of people were saying, you know, that they wish that she was their grandma and will she adopt me and all this other stuff. So I was like, well, hey, I can make some t-shirts and then see if we can't do some t-shirts and then use the money to make some of her dreams come true, take her on some trips or something like that. So, and I'm also going to try to donate a little bit to Alzheimer's and Dementia Foundation, see if I can't get that going, get a partnership. But so I got this shirt made, surprised her with it. And it's just her, she loves lobster. So I got a lobster on this one. And then it says, I'm your grandma now.
I love it.
I was trying to make sure I get the perfect shirt because I'm a little OCD about my clothes. So I want to make sure somebody orders a shirt is something they're going to like. So I'm working on that. Hopefully I can launch it this weekend. Do like shirts and some stickers and just see. But I actually have another one too. It's going to be a Sunday Fun Day t-shirt. But I just got that one finished.
I'm in.
I just got that one finished. So it's going to be a little bit.
Well, I
Matthew,
went out to the beauty shop and I sleep in one too. So.
I love it. I love it. And you know what? If you guys need any help with your marketing or with your branding, I'm more than happy to help you to get your stuff out there and help you get some exposure because I would love to help you have your dreams come true too. Now, I've seen people send you fan mail. One of the things that was my favorite was the lobster hat. You remember the lobster, orange lobster hat? But I want to know what your favorite thing is. What was your favorite thing that you've received from a fan in the mail?
Oh, honey, I just love all of it.
Yeah.
Nothing, but every bit of it. And, you know, even my cards and my letters are so, oh, I just love every bit of it. There's nothing favorite. It's just all wonderful.
You know, and I love that you have this feeling and that you have this feeling of love from complete strangers, because I'll tell you from my experience watching you have all of this love be like it's overwhelming, I'm assuming.
Well, listen, it comes from I even got some from Australia.
What?
Yes. And Canada. I mean, places, and England.
Wow.
I'd love to go see the Queen.
Well, if we keep selling your merch, then we can probably get you to see the Queen, I'd imagine, right? Get you on a plane when we're allowed to fly over there. So that would be a really cool goal.
I kind of look like Elizabeth with my hair and all.
I
Yes,
think you
kinda
do.
look about, you know.
Your hair looks very on point, by the way. And so I have to ask you a question because I was a hairstylist for 11 years. I owned my own salon and on-site wedding business. I love doing hair. But how would you rate Matt as a hairstylist out of 1 to 10? 10 being fantastic, 1 being like...
I will be honest. He's about an 8.
Whoa.
That's pretty good. Wow, Matt.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wow, that's awesome.
And I went today, and she had seen me out. Oh, Patty's been doing my hair for 30 years. And so she knows every hair on my head.
Yeah. I don't know how I did it because my hair's falling out. So, yeah. I don't even know how to do my own hair because I don't have any.
Oh, that's so well. You do an excellent job, and it shows the love that you have for your grandmother, because there's not a lot of grandsons that would take time out of their day to do all of those things. And I think so often, it's hard as you age. And I've seen this because, so in my family, I've had centurions. So I've had grandparents on both sides of my family live to over 100. So I've seen, yeah, and they've all been with it, which is crazy. But
Right.
I've seen them grow and then have those last years of their life. And as much as we visit, as much as we're present, there is a bit of loneliness there. It's a little bit tough as you get older to have that connection. And what I think is so beautiful about what you're doing online is that you get up and you get to see your new video views. You get mail that's sent to you as fan mail. You get to actually connect with people so that you never feel alone. You have all these people that love you.
I know.
Right.
I know.
Isn't that special?
I know.
Yeah.
Yes. And well, I tell you, this is my love of my life. Really, he is. I mean, I could not love him anymore if I had given birth to him. Now I have 2 other sons, but this one right here is
Thank you.
it's part of me.
He sticks.
Right.
He's gonna stick.
But I have to share you with 1.2 million people now.
Well,
That's pretty tough, I'd imagine. That's a tough act to follow, Matt.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. All the messages. I can't keep up with the messages anymore. I feel bad. In the beginning, I was trying to keep up with everybody and send a message, but it's just gotten so overwhelming. I go to work, come home, and I can't answer some of them. I feel bad that I can't answer everybody, but I try my best.
You know what? And people understand that. And I find that when you have this fast explosion of followers or this fast, like you're influential, isn't that GB? You're an influencer. Did you know that?
Yeah.
how can I influence anybody?
So you are an influencer because of the following that you have. And now, like in the beginning, there are so many people out there that are trying to make human connection, that are trying to become, you didn't even have to try. And this is something that I really wanted to bring up because it's so important. You were just yourself.
Well,
You
I'm
just
going
showed
something.
people. Yeah. Yeah. This is the best.
What you see is what you get.
Yes. And that
That's
should
it.
be how it always is, because people on social media often try and put their best foot forward, and they think they have to be somebody spectacular to be followed, but you just have to be you, authentically, amazingly you, right?
Right.
I'm just old Jimmy.
I love it. I love it so much.
So
So
I got a gift. Some cups. Says you're a fabulous old lady.
Say more than that.
They say more than that, but I will.
are there any cups that are PG that you could say?
Huh?
Are there any cups that are PG rated that you could say? What it says on the cup?
Oh,
Just say Butamus.
yeah.
That's
about
it. Yeah.
You're a fabulous. Like, oh well, you're a fabulous GB. Whatever.
I love it. I love it so much. So how have you felt in the past few months? How has this changed your life? Or do you have like more of an awareness of what's going on in the world? Do you have more of an awareness of social media? How has this changed things? Do you have a different perspective, or it's just kind of business as usual?
It's just been other than talking with you, it's just been my usual self. I mean, I'm just me. I'm just Grandmabobbe.
Just rolling with it.
Yeah.
Doing
You
the
are
TV.
so
I think
so
the fan
charming.
mail is the biggest to her. I think
Yes.
that the stuff with like the TV was cool. It was cool for me. I thought it was crazy.
It
But-
is.
And I know she was nervous, but I think getting the fan mail, the letters, and the gifts have been the biggest
Yes, it's
to
been
her.
overwhelming. I mean, I've got a stack of, but oh well.
Shoot.
I'm sure it's going to be
Yeah.
keep growing and growing and growing over the next few months too. I'm just so happy. Thank you so much for taking the time. I'm not going to take any more of your time today. Thank you so much for being on with me today. Where can they find, what is your handle on TikTok so that people can follow you?
Yeah, it's at Stewie Z71. So STEWIEZ71. and that's on TikTok and Instagram. I don't post much on Facebook, but I do more for those two. But if you hashtag Grandmabobbe, she pops up everywhere.
Of course she does. And so, and if people want to connect with you for swag, TikTok, Instagram, probably a good way. I think you also have a mailing address on your TikTok handle, so that if you want to send a card or some fun swag or a really sexy calendar to GB, then you are more than welcome to do so.
Right. Yes, the P.O. Box, I can say it on here?
Yeah, of course you can. Yeah.
The P.O. Box is 5527 Destin, Florida, 32540.
Well, thank you. Go ahead.
It's on the bio in my TikTok.
Perfect. Thank you so much, both of you, for being here. Thank you for taking the time. I know that all of this is crazy. This whole online world is crazy, but I'm just so grateful to see people like you, wholesome, sweet, loving, kind relationships. Honestly, you're inspiring so many people to do the same. Like, you're inspiring so many other grandkids to take care of their grandparents. I don't know if you understand that or recognize that that's what's happening, but every time you show a video, I think, oh God, I should go pick up my grandma and take her for lunch. Like, that's what goes through my head, right? So you're inspiring just by sharing your life and you guys spending time together. You're inspiring so many other people to connect with their relatives, and I think that is such a beautiful thing. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it, guys.
Yeah,
thank you so much for taking time to be with us.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I love you guys. I absolutely love you. I'm going to get a t-shirt. I can't wait for the Sunday Fun Day t-shirts. I will wear it on Sundays, and we'll connect again. I'm sure that you will see me in your comment section on TikTok, and I just wish you guys everything but the best. And if you ever need anything, I'm totally here to help.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, Christina. Thank you so much, honey.
You're welcome. You too. Bye.
And be good. Behave.
I'll try.